So thank you everyone for joining me today. It's time for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. And yes, I'm Michael Smith, the National Consumer Education Manager of Janome Canada. And yes, I'm coming to you live from the Janome Sewing and Learning Center in Oakville, Ontario for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. And again, what will the machine be? Oh, I don't know, it's a mystery. That's why we must always tune in. Now, if you can't tune in live, again, these will be available in the IGTV icon on the Janome HQ Instagram page, and as well I load them as videos on the Janome HQ YouTube channel. Now, when you review them on YouTube, though, as a heads up, the image is tall and skinny because Instagram wants you to watch their presentations like this one live on your phone or your iPad. So if you review this presentation on your phone or your iPad, you're fine. But as a video on YouTube, it's tall and skinny. But unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to rotate the camera or anything. We'd all be, watching by turning our head. No one wants to do that. So at least it was a way to, again, share more of the Janome love. Oh, yeah, lovely. Eva's here. Hello. And Cheryl's here. Oh, hello. Seems like forever since I've seen you all. So yes, what machine will it be today? Well, let's spin this around. Ooh, there, Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. What will the machine be? Oh, and of course I'm rolling over my cords already. Oh, this is the trouble with filming alone. There, we want to make sure nothing gets disconnected by accident. Okay, so what is the machine today? Maybe you tell by our fabulous clue. Let me turn on the machine there. And what is the machine today for Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour? Ta-da! It is the fabulous M200 Qdc. And you can tell M for the Maker series with this cute little bright logo. Again, isn't that adorable? Who doesn't love color in their sewing room? Now, if you've reviewed previous Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tours, you will have seen this beautiful machine is the M100 here, Qdc. Now, Qdc is Quilt, Decor, and Couture. So if you're a quilter, home decor, or couture garment sewer, the Qdc line of machines, there's a whole range of them, is very, very popular. So this Maker series, proudly Canadian, Janome has a lot of machines around the world that are the same, but we also have specific ones that, Janome America has that we don't have, and then we have some like this Maker series that they don't have. So yes, this was a wonderful series at the time. Oh, fantastic. Sandra won one from a store from Tropicland, so that's cool. Sweet Little Piper have a 100. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, they are so cute. Again, very popular, very proudly Canadian. Perhaps some of you might have had the gorgeous Tamara Kate, very well-known Janome. She was our Janome spokesperson, and then she's a quilt artist and fabric designer with Michael Miller Fabrics. Tamara designed our Canada 150 logo, and it was on this fabulous M100 machine. So I've already discussed this machine, but why I wanted to talk about these, a lot of people wonder, what's the difference between the various models? So here we've got an M100, and you'll see specifically on this keypad here. So it's 100, so there's 100 stitches. And then in this keypad here, the last button I have in this third row is this scissor button. So one of the big differences when we talk about the various different machines within the same range, like the Maker series, for example, it's M200, which means I have 200 stitches now. So I have 100 more stitches. So isn't that fabulous? And you can see instead of my, my last button here being the scissor button, now I have a memory button, a clear button to clear all the information on my screen, and a mode button. Because on the C200 or the M200, we have this, again, fabulous stitch chart, what comes with your M100. But you'll see, oh, I've got more. Again, 200 stitches. So we need the various modes. So we've got mode 1, mode 2, and then we've got two different modes of alphabets. One that has the accents, and then the other is the regular mode there. So this is how some of the machines, differ. different features of them. Oh, hello everyone. Oh, it's wonderful to see so many people jumping on. Oh, it's great. Thank you. So this is how we can again determine what are the differences. Very often it's the number of stitches increase, and then again maybe you'll get different features such as this memory feature. That is built into a number of Janome machines. And again, specifically the QDC range of machines are very popular, so it lets you basically do any kind of sewing you would like. Now, the machines will come with a instructional DVD, of course, so very important to watch that. And then your instruction manual, very important, that it'll tell you how to adjust the machine, how to get those various modes of stitching, and how to use all of your included presser feet. Now, in your manual, at the very beginning, it will tell you, regardless of what machine it is, it always goes through, this is the anatomy of the machine, this is what all the parts and pieces are, and then it goes through, this is exactly what your machine comes with. Ooh. So make sure that you always review this, particularly when you're unpacking your machine, make sure that you review this page and make sure all of these little parts and pieces are in there, so you don't accidentally throw away the packaging with still some pieces included. You know, that can happen. Now, included with a number of the QDC machines, and there's a whole range of them. We've got a 4120 QDC, 3160 QDC, a 4300 QDC, a 5300 QDC. So you can review all of them, and there's more too. Those are some of the most popular ones. You can review those on the Janome.ca website. There's a model comparison chart, so you can compare the difference between all those QDC machines. Now, a number of them come with, yes, this cute little quilting attachment kit up here. And I love Janome even has, oh, Sandra Mugsman's here, hello, hello. Janome even has instructions, again, full instructions on how to use all these additional feet that come with the machine in this cute little quilting attachment kit. So things like, again, a walking foot, and then there's a quilting guide bar that comes included, and then they tell you, oh, there's the darning foot, and then how to use the other feet that come included with the kit. Even this cute little pin cushion, isn't that adorable? So again, full instructions there, and this is one of the reasons why I think the QDC range of machines is so popular. They do come with so much without being too overwhelming. They're in a good price range for you know, for many people as well. They're not quite beginner, but they're not super duper advanced. You'll see the machine really does not take up a lot of room at the table. Does include a beautiful extension table here. So if you were like me, I've never had a machine or I've never had a table that my machines recess in. I always, at home, I sew with my machine on top of a table. So how wonderful that the machines come with, a lot of our Janome machines come with that extension table. So that gives you extra room for your projects. So yes, in our cute little accessory box here, we've got our standard accessories. Like most of our Janome machines come with that extra spool pin, so we can wind our bobbins without unthreading the needle. The spool caps, of course, your Janome J bobbins, very important. Speaking of Janome J bobbins, oh yes, did you know? Yes, we've got even colored bobbins, like these beautiful blue bobbins, or debuting last summer was these beautiful red bobbins. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we've got, oh yes, ooh, so much to look at. Janome's 100 years, so you can help us celebrate the Janome love by getting some Janome 100-year bobbins. So isn't that cool? And you know, being organized is very important. So also debuting, look at this beautiful bobbin holder that you can fill it up with all your Janome J bobbins. So these are now brand new, available at your Janome dealer. So you'll want to check out those. And again, you can organize them all by color. So how cool is that? So you've got Janome J bobbins that come with your machine, the usual tools, you know, to help clean, your little screwdriver, extra pack of needles, seam ripper, things like that. Now, all of these presser feet, like our C foot that help us does the overcast and over edge stitch, I've demonstrated the C foot and most of our Janome presser feet on the A to Z with Janome series that's available on the Janome HQ Instagram page, or again on Janome HQ YouTube channel, it was the A to Z with Janome series. And I talked about E, the zipper foot. And the F foot is the craft foot or satin stitch foot that has a little groove in the bottom, so you'll do your decorative stitches with that, so that's very good. And again, all of these feet I demoed. For more information, oh, there's the G foot, one of my favorites, that you will do your blind hem, which looks like this. So quick and easy blind hem on your trousers, or if you're doing, you know, curtains, again, for home deck, then the blind hem does a little bit of stitching and then a little zigzag. You actually stitch it this way. So there's like a little zigzag which will bite into your fabric. And then from the right side, again, depending on your fabric too, like you don't even see that. The more textured your fabric is, the more the blind hem's just gonna sink into that fabric. So it's a really great foot to use. And again, full demos on the A to Z with Janome series under the G episode for that blind hem. But a number of our machines come included with that G stitch, or that blind hem stitch with the G foot. And I even use it for edge stitching, which I demoed as well. So again, there's multi-purpose demos for a lot of those feet. So those are the standard feet that come with your M200 and that come with a lot of our QDC machines. And then included, again, is this little quilting attachment kit, again, with your walking foot and your quilting guide bar, full instructions on exactly how to use them. Here is your 1/4 inch foot with the guide that many of us like. That's the O foot. So there's for our 1/4 inch piecing. So again, if we're a quilter, the QDC machines will accommodate. Here in our quilting attachment kit is the open toe, or the F2 foot. So it's that same satin stitch foot, but it has a little groove in the bottom. So then again, those decorative stitches form, but it's open toe, so you've got a little bit more visibility. Here is your open toe darning foot, and this is the PDH foot. So again, I demoed that in the A to Z with Janome series on Janome HQ YouTube, or Janome HQ IGTV on Janome HQ Instagram page. Now, also included in this kit, oh, I absolutely love this. This is our guide bar, our cloth guide, and I love this. Now, it's available separately. In fact, all of these feet are available separately. Ooh, I don't want my camera to fall over. All of these feet are available separately, including this quilting guide bar, but it again comes included in our little kit here. So it's wonderful because we just screw this on to our needle plate very easily, like that. There's a little hole in the needle plate, and again, a lot of our Janome machines have that little hole in the needle plate. So this is an adjustable guide that we can butt up against the foot or wherever we want. If we have a nice deep hem for, again, garments, for a winter coat, or again for curtains, we've got this beautiful cloth guide that can be adjustable. So then when we butt up our fabric right against it, you know, then we've got that perfect even line. So that is great. So that's all included. And again, a number of our QDC machines come included with that cloth guide. So that's really wonderful. Yes, how to wind the bobbin with the extra spool holder. Yes, I will in just a moment. So yes, when I I'm going to use the M200 Qdc machine, again with its various modes of stitching, which are all up on this little card here. Now the cool thing is, in the back of your instruction book, there is also your stitch chart with all the stitches there numbered. So you've got them easily at a glance, either with that stitch chart that just attaches to your machine here, or again, it's in the back of your manual. But again, many of the QDCs have different modes of stitching, so it's a very easy to adjust, where you just select, whatever stitch that you want. So let's say, if I want my J, there is mode A, and that's stitch number 19. So I just touch my mode button. Currently I'm in mode number 1, and now I just keep hitting my mode button. Now I'm in mode A, and then I can stitch my J. Now it's signaling me, I need to drop the presser foot. So away we go. So like how simple, how easy is that to adjust? It's going to finish my stitch and it's going to stop automatically. Now we've got wonderful things like our speed control here, especially if you're going to be teaching someone to sew. They're a new sewer, so it's great having the function of the speed control that you can slow down so it's not so intimidating. But then yes, we've got this scissor button to trim our threads. How beautiful. The needle up and down button, the lock stitch. So after you finish stitching, you can press the lock stitch to do a couple of little tacking stitches in place, reverse button, or the stop start button. So we don't even have to use the foot pedal. Now, speaking of foot pedals, this is the foot pedal that comes with our machine, perfectly fine. But you know, with your QDC range of machines, here we can use this big extra large foot pedal with, again, it's that same port. So this will still plug into your QDC machine. So this is an optional upgrade from your Janome Dealer. So that's wonderful. And you know, this M200 specifically has been on the production line, you know, a number of years, and you know, your dealer may not carry it anymore. Some dealers may still have some. But also why I'm mainly showing this machine is I get a number of questions if you're wondering about, oh, I've seen on some of those, you know, Facebook marketplace groups, or maybe in the, you know, buy and sell of your local newspaper, there are a lot of Janome machines available as people upgrade and they swap out machines and go up the Janome line. Then yes, there's a lot of machines on the secondary market, and because Janome machines last so long, you know, they're very sturdy, built to last, then I get a lot of questions saying about, oh, well, this is like an older machine, but again, what about it? What do you think about it? You know, what are some of the features? So that's why I like to include some brand new machines, of course, those that are widely available, and even a machine like this M200 being a little bit older. It may not, again, be in your dealer's store to order brand new, but again, you may find one on the secondary market. So this is why I'm showing a variety of machines, or maybe you have this machine at home, but you weren't sure about some of these features. So I thought I would, again, talk about a little bit to try to share more of the Janome love. So that is your, again, how to quickly do your alphabet. Now, the cool thing is with this memory function, if I wanted to stitch out, and there was my number. If I wanted to stitch this out, then I would just program. We've got the stitch selections. I could go up to individually according to the stitch numbers here, or I can jump up by tens with this button here. So if I want, again, let's do Janome. So here's J, number 19, and then by hitting the memory button, I'm going to record that number. So then the next is A, so then we need to go down to 10, and then we would hit M to store it in memory, and it's giving me prompt, okay, that was number 2, so now number 3 is N, is then going to be 23. So it's very quick and easy to do. And then we've got O. Now, again, you would read all your instruction manual, but again, very simple and easy to do. The main thing is you have to press M after whatever selection it is. You have to select M for memory. And if I've done it correctly, now I will sew. So if you're doing, oh, imagine, you know, lots of labels, and especially, again, for quilting or garments, if you're sewing in labels, little tags with the, you know, person's name or washing instructions, again, it's going to automatically stop that it's finished doing what it's doing. I can hit that scissor button if I wish. Raise my foot. I'll just trim my threads with, these are our beautiful mini duckling scissors, as I've often shown, and I love them so much. So there is our fabulous Janome. So how simple is that? And again, built into the memory. Now you'll see on the back here, I'm using some stabilizer. So whenever we're going to be doing decorative stitches or any of our alphabet here, then we definitely want to use some stabilizer. That, of course, comes from, as I've mentioned so often, the Janome stabilizer, or the Madeira stabilizer starter pack. that has 12 different stabilizers, so you've got a variety from which to choose, and then there's a convenient booklet to help you choose what the best stabilizer for your project. You know, very simply, like all Janome machines, we just click off our presser foot there, and then I'm going to put on this F2 foot, snap on and off, very simple. And let's say, oh, I'm going to switch to mode number 2, and again, all in the back of our book are the selections. So if I do mode 2, again, very easily, I can go up by 10s, and then I refine, oh, I'm going to do 36 is a satin stitch here. So then drop my foot. And the fun thing is we can adjust the stitch width and the stitch length in a lot of our stitches. When I hit the lock stitch, I'm going to finish my row of stitching. And then raise that up. So there is my beautiful satin stitch. And then again, oh, I was right on the edge here. Let me stitch that again. Yes, right on the edge of my stabilizer. This is why we need the stabilizer, that we need to make sure that the stitches are well supported and they are not going to buckle the fabric. Whenever you hit the lock stitch, when you're doing a decorative stitch, for example, it will complete that design and then stop. I hit my scissor button and away we go. So there. So yes, I was right on the fabric here, right on the stabilizer. So which looks better? This, if I give it a quick shot with the iron, that's going to look way better than that. That's a little puckery because I was right on the edge of that stabilizer. So that's why we need stabilizer. So very important. And then if I want to clear my memory, then here on the M200, or again, if your QDC has a C button, is just clear, and it'll take you back to the beginning, the 00 of whatever, you know, whatever mode you're in. Oh, where can I purchase the stabilizer pack? Oh, from any Janome dealer. Any Janome or even Elna dealers would have it available to them. So yes, any of your Janome dealers will have the Madeira Stabilizer Starter Pack. It may not be available, they may not have it in their store, but they could always order it for you. So yes, included with your M200 here is this cute little, and a lot of our QDC machines, they've got this cute little pincushion. Isn't that adorable? So that just fits up in this little port that is in the top of the machine, and then also included in a lot of our machines is this secondary spool holder. So then that I just click in place. So the advantage to that is we can take a secondary spool of thread. This is our Madeira, or no, this is our Iris cotton quilting thread. Janome has a number of threads actually. We've got the Madeira threads. These are the Iris cotton quilting threads. Isn't that adorable? So again, these you can order from your Janome dealer as well. But yes, Janome has also, they are a distributor of Madeira threads. So we have things like the Madeira Aerofill thread that I love using, is a 50 weight thread. So look at that. This is what I use a lot for just regular sewing. So we have many different thread kits available that available from your Janome dealer. So when I have my thread here on my secondary spool holder, I want to make sure to use the correct spool cap. So for a larger spool of thread, again, we've got the larger spool cap. For the smaller cone, like these mini king size of the Helos Iris, I'll use this one included. But also as an optional accessory in a separate blister pack, we have these cute little special spool caps for some of the, you know, smaller spools of thread, that these are available again separately. So it's really important to use the correct spool cap for the size of thread for your spool. So when I take this secondary spool pin here and I'm going to wrap my thread around, all of our machines have this little tension guide, and it needs to go in between. There's two pieces of metal, and it needs to go in between them. like right here. It needs to go right in between, not down here where my seam ripper is. It needs to go right in between there. So this is like a pre-tensioner guide. So it needs to be in that guide in order to wind correctly. So again, and I like to tug on it so I know, yes, it's firmly in that guide. Now, when I get to the bobbin, now full instructions are in your manual always about how to wind your bobbins. But, you know, this is what I've been doing for the last 30 years from when I bought my very first Janome. So I do it always, and I always get good results. So here's my Janome J bobbin. It's a little hard to see, but there's a little J on that post. Oh, there, you can see the little J. Janome J bobbins are great to use because they have a rubberized compound in them, so they stay a little quieter, and you won't get that backlash and birds nesting when you stop at high speeds. So that's why Janome J bobbins are recommended to use. So when I see that Janome J bobbin, there's the little hole in the top of your bobbin that I bring my thread up through. Whoops, bring it up through that hole up at the top there. And then, oh, I had it. Then I bring it to the top of our spool pin. You'll see up at the top here of our bobbin winder, and there's this little protrusion here. And this is going to click in, this little elbow is going to click into the little groove that's at the top of our bobbin. And when you hear that click, you know it's in place. Now, once we push it all the way down to, sometimes I see people say, oh, my bobbin's not winding correctly. Well, the bobbin is sitting way up here. It needs to be firmly pushed down, and then again, it needs to click in place. So that little elbow is now sitting in place there. Then I hold on to my thread, click it over into place, and again, consult your manual. Some of the machines you actually move the bobbin, other times you move this pin over to the bobbin, so it depends. So now I see on my LCD screen here that I've got the bobbin, and then now it's telling me, oh, press the presser foot. So I like starting it slowly. I just have a very light pressure. The foot on the gas is very light pressure, just to make sure, is it really winding correctly? And it looks like it is beautifully, which again, I'm not surprised. I've been doing this for 30 years. So once I have it wound a little bit, I can still hold on to this thread at the top, or now I could get rid of it. And then away we go. Now you can also adjust the speed with your slider here, but I find just with my foot pedal is I can adjust the speed, and I'm keeping an eye. This is why we need the thread to be in between those two metal discs here. So it's not jumping around. It's staying firmly in place. So here I got my foot all the way up high. This is generally how I drive too. And now the good thing is too, let's say you're winding, oh, hot pink thread, and you don't need a full bobbin. You can stop winding all the time, whenever you want. You don't have to wind till it's full. So I go until, okay, it's automatically gonna stop, and then I click it, trim my threads, and away I go. And I have a beautifully wound bobbin. I always like to push, you know, if you push your seam ripper or something against it, it shouldn't be mushy. That there's a little bit of give, but it shouldn't be mushy. Your tool shouldn't be, you know, disappearing in that. So then I know it's firmly wound, and then I would load it in as usual. So very simple to do. Again, your instruction manuals tell all, but I find the biggest secrets are the thread needing to be in between those two discs, not underneath it. And again, it has to be clipped into that little elbow there. The top of the bobbin has to be clipped into that little elbow. Oh, there, maybe if you can see. Sometimes it's harder in close-ups with the iPad, but there's that little notch that elbow needs to sit in. And once that's clicked into place, you're really good to go. Start off slow, and then after you know it's good, then yeah, trim your threads and away you go. Like, no problem at all. So yes, I hope that helps. That's a little bit of a overview. Again, the time always goes by so quickly. So we will just have to get together for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour next week. No, actually, a heads up. Next week, I'm actually going to be taking a little time off. So there will be no live Janome HQ next week. So you can go back to review the IGTV icon. All the previous presentations are there, or again onto the Janome HQ YouTube channel. So if you have to get your fix, you can go back and review. So yes, unfortunately, no live next week as I'm away on vacation, but I'm never that far away. So yes, what a wonderful machine. Oh, it is. Yes, the series, there was an M50, an M100, an M200. There was even an M serger. So, you know, they all match. So everybody loves to coordinate. So, and again, machines like this that you may not always find in your dealership, but again, on the secondary market, Janome is still going strong. So it's always great to investigate. And sometimes you can get a really good deal. But of course, as always, double check with your Janome dealer. You may be surprised because a number of them do take in trade-ins. So again, always check with your Janome dealer and see what they have available for you. So yes, oh, thank you so much. Oh, it's wonderful. Thank you. Yes, everyone stay safe as well. Thank you. Yes, I'm looking forward to the break. We're going to be out camping, I hope, in beautiful weather. So that's wonderful. So thank you, everyone, for joining me today. It's great to see you all, and I will see you again for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.